Okay, today is November 11, 2020. It's 4:30. I really got up late, which is good. I got a good amount of sleep. So this is my subscribers, 187, public watch hour, 5,151. So let me get out of here. I don't want to spend too much time because there's a lot going on. Yesterday I came across several videos where one of them is Germany. Angela Merkel, thanking, welcoming the U.S. back. It was in German, so I'll put it, if I find it, I'll put it, and there it is.
Meine Damen und Herren, heute am 9. November 2020 denken wir Deutschen wie an jedem 9. November an das Schlimmste und an das Beste in unserer Geschichte. Wir denken an die Schande des 9. November 1938, die Pogrome gegen jüdische Mitbürger im ganzen Land, an die Menschen, die in den Tod getrieben wurden, die brennenden Synagogen, die zerstörten Geschäfte. Wir gedenken der Opfer des von Deutschland begangenen Menschheitsverbrechens der Shoah in Scham. Und wir denken an den 9. November 1989, den Jubel, die überschäumende Freude der Menschen, als sich hier ganz in der Nähe am Brandenburger Tor und entlang der Berliner Mauer dieses entsetzliche Bauwerk erst öffnete und es dann fiel. Erst vor wenigen Wochen, am 3. Oktober, haben wir den 30. Jahrestag unserer deutschen Einheit gefeiert. Sie wäre ohne das Vertrauen, gerade auch der Amerikaner, nicht möglich gewesen. Dafür werde ich immer dankbar sein. Wir Deutschen haben direkt erlebt und erfahren, welche wichtige Rolle die Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika für die Freiheit und die Demokratie in der Welt spielen. Wir haben direkt erlebt und erfahren, welche große Bedeutung die deutsch-amerikanische Freundschaft, die transatlantische Partnerschaft hat für Deutschland, für Europa und die Welt. Die ganze Welt verfolgt alle 4 Jahre amerikanische Präsidentschaftswahlen mit ganz besonderer Aufmerksamkeit. Nun haben die amerikanischen Bürgerinnen und Bürger wieder ihre Wahl getroffen. Ich gratuliere Joe Biden ganz herzlich zu seiner Wahl zum 46. Präsidenten der Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika. Joe Biden bringt die Erfahrung aus Jahrzehnten in der Innen- wie in der Außenpolitik mit. Er kennt Deutschland und Europa gut. Ich erinnere mich gerne an gute Begegnungen und Gespräche mit ihm. Ebenso herzlich gratuliere ich Kamala Harris, der künftigen Vizepräsidentin. Als erste Frau in diesem Amt und als Kind zweier Einwanderer ist sie für viele Menschen eine Inspiration, ein Beispiel für die Möglichkeiten Amerikas. Ich freue mich darauf, sie kennenzulernen. Die Freundschaft unserer beiden Länder hat sich über Jahrzehnte bewährt. Viele Menschen hier wie dort leben diese deutsch-amerikanische Freundschaft. Das ist ein gemeinsamer Schatz. Wir sollten immer weiter an ihr arbeiten und immer neue Generationen von Deutschen und Amerikanern, Europäern und Amerikanern zusammenbringen. Wir sind Verbündete in der NATO. Wir teilen grundlegende Werte von der Würde des Individuums, von Demokratie und Rechtsstaatlichkeit, und wir teilen Interessen. Die Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika und Deutschland als Teil der Europäischen Union müssen zusammenstehen, um die großen Herausforderungen unserer Zeit zu bewältigen. Seite an Seite in der schweren Prüfung der Corona-Pandemie, Seite an Seite im Kampf gegen die Erderwärmung und ihre globalen Folgen, im Kampf gegen den Terrorismus, Seite an Seite für eine offene Weltwirtschaft und freien Handel. Denn das sind die Grundlagen unseres Wohlstands beiderseits des Atlantiks. Wir Deutschen und wir Europäer wissen, dass wir in dieser Partnerschaft im 21. Jahrhundert mehr eigene Verantwortung übernehmen müssen. Amerika ist und bleibt unser wichtigster Verbündeter. Aber es erwartet von uns, und zu Recht, stärkere eigene Anstrengungen, um für unsere Sicherheit zu sorgen und für unsere Überzeugungen in der Welt einzutreten. Und wir Europäer haben uns ja längst auf diesen Weg gemacht. Es ist eine konfliktreiche Zeit, in der die Wählerinnen und Wähler Joe Biden und Kamala Harris große Verantwortung übertragen. Ich freue mich auf die Zusammenarbeit mit Ihnen und wünsche Ihnen Kraft, Erfolg und Gottes Segen. Ich danke Ihnen.
And there was other videos that I came across. One interesting video that I came across too is someone who was mentioning, actually, part of it I sort of mentioned it on one of the videos yesterday, the list of things that Donald Trump have done, and how he has no chance of, even all the stuff that he's doing, there's no chance he's gonna get back in. Meaning that even if they do recounts or he call people to court to stop that, because nobody will put their license on the line. They need to keep their ethical kind of attitude toward the, I guess, their diploma, their, what is that? Their law degree or something like that. So that was a good watch.
This would have changed the outcome. And this is, I think, one really important point that folks haven't understood, because you see Trump and McConnell and all these people going on saying widespread fraud, and this and that. But when you actually read their legal filings, they don't say that. Now, why is that? Because a lawyer who signs a pleading has an ethical duty to not make claims unless they can back them up, particularly allegations of fraud. And so instead, so you have all this political rhetoric about how bad it is, but then when you actually read the legal pleading, it doesn't have all that stuff in it.
So who's paying for all this?
Well, we are in the form of our souls, but I assume the Trump campaign, and it was interesting, Trump has been sending around these emails. Somehow someone put me on the Trump email list, so I get them, and he's begging for money for his legal defense. And there's fine print in the email that says 60% of the money that you donate for his legal defense will actually go to pay the general campaign debts. So it's not even for the legal defense. So if you're asking why is this going on still when nobody thinks this is going to make a difference, it may have a little bit to do with that. I don't know, but it's certainly in the fine print of the emails.
So when will this conceivably end? When will they have exhausted all the legal recourse that they could pursue, Neil, and that someone says it's over, there's nothing that can be done here?
Well, I mean, in the reality-based community, we are there already. So these lawsuits, none of them matter. So I guess we could sit around and wait.
Okay, in the unreality-based community, how long will this go on where, I take your point, but where, it's all gone through the system and nothing is being changed, nothing's being entertained by any judge, whatever, and it's like finito?
I don't know. I mean, it might literally be January 20th with these people. It should be finito, certainly soon, but, I'm someone who generally, I follow the rules and believe in them. So, when you've got someone who's so willing to defy, I mean, I don't know if even after January 20th, I don't know if even after Biden's in office, these people will file lawsuits to try and get him out of office. I don't know. But I know that they're all going to be unsuccessful. So I can tell you that. So, I mean, yes, there are going to be a bunch of, spurious claims over the next while, but they're.
And another video that I came across too is they were saying President-elect Joe Biden is handling whatever Donald Trump is doing in a smart way, because he's supposed to do some sort of a transition where Joe Biden's team's supposed to take over all the computer accesses and all of that. So he was saying, he's doing it the right way, because at the end of the day, Joe Biden, the people have spoken. So if he's not doing what he's supposed to do, they're going to send the SWAT team to get him out.
Frank Figluzzi, can you pick up on this from those two perspectives, both the law enforcement perspective, that what Bill Barr did resulted in a high-level departure. The gentleman's name is Richard Pilger. He left as the head of election crimes at DOJ over Bill Barr unleashing prosecutors to go investigate voter fraud, seemingly at the president's behest. And then this, I think what Mike was getting at, more serious implication that without acknowledging Joe Biden's win and Donald Trump's defeat, the national security agencies are not engaged in a transition of power to the Biden administration.
Right. So far, we've seen a wholesale buying in to the president's state of denial, to include, no surprise, our own attorney general. Earlier today, we saw Secretary Pompeo joking about the stability of our peaceful transition process. So none of this should surprise us, but it should deeply concern us. With regard to the president-elect's comments today, and comments specifically about the fact that he still isn't getting the presidential daily brief, still doesn't have the funds for transition and meeting for and planning with all the various agencies. I've got two thoughts on this, Nicole, and you've been very kind always in the past to let me harken back to my FBI days, and I'm going to do that again if you'll allow me, which is this. We're coming very close. Well, we're coming very close to having what the Bureau calls a barricaded subject. The barricaded subject is in the White House. And what we saw the president-elect do today was right on the money with regard to initial negotiation with a barricaded subject. Here's why. We saw a very calm Joe Biden today. We saw him essentially shrugging off that he doesn't yet have the money or the keys to open transition offices. He shrugged off the fact that he's not getting the classified briefing. His staff isn't getting access to classified and briefings from the various agencies. That is exactly what you do in the initial stages. Whoever's advising him is doing it right. You want to let that barricaded subject know that this is going to be okay. I'm going to listen to what you have to say. You can vent and vent and vent. You can call me names and not acknowledge my authority outside the perimeter here. But eventually, we're going to get this done. And eventually, in this case, Nicole, there's going to be a time where Joe Biden calls the SWAT team. It may be a legal challenge to the GSA refusal to acknowledge him as winner. It may be that U.S. Marshals have to come take the president out. And as we say to a barricaded subject, we can do this the hard way or we can do this the easy way. But so far, so good with the way that Joe Biden is handling this.
So he's not individual number one anymore, Frank. He's a barricaded subject. What does that mean? What is like the actual, I mean, it sounds like a hostage situation.
It means there's a way to handle this from a psychological standpoint, from a behavioral standpoint. And all of the last 4 years tell us a great deal about how this president reacts to loss, to being perceived as a loser, and how he needs time to process this. And I know we're all frustrated with it, but the reality is that Joe Biden's got this right. This is going to happen. We're going to acknowledge Joe Biden as the winner. The rest of the world has done it already, and the Republican people around the president need to do this as well, lest they become jokes, as Secretary of State did today. Now, for people worried about the briefings and what's not happening, look, I don't mean to demean this. I was a part of transition briefings when I was assistant director at FBI. They are extensive. They are serious briefings. But there's something else going on here that we need to acknowledge, I think, which is Trump doesn't want Biden to have access to the briefings because, number one, it acknowledges that he won. But also, there's a finer, more subtle layer to this, which is once Biden and his staff get into the agencies and start hearing real-time threat information, they may well discover, let's say hypothetically from the CIA, hey, sir, the following intel on the Russian threat has been suppressed, then we can't get it to Congress or the White House. Or from the FBI, Mr. Biden, we have to tell you that we have the various threats and indications of wrongdoing that we can't get out to anybody right now. Mm-hmm. That means Biden learns what Trump doesn't want him to learn. And that may be part of this suppression effort as well.
So that was a good video to listen to. So I'll put each one of these as each one that I mentioned. So I want to go, I know you guys I haven't been showing much about the Sussex squad's post. But right now it's like a needle in a haystack because the main thing right now is the nonsense that's going on in the U.S. I mean, luckily we dodged the bullet from Trump not being reelected. But the majority of the stuff that's coming up on Twitter and things like that is about Donald Trump. So I will be starting another video. Politics. So this is going to start really nice, okay? This picture I came across, it's about the Obama's girls, I guess, during the transition period. So the girls had come to the White House where the First Lady and Barbara and her daughters took the girls to show them around and stuff like that. So there they are playing. You know, when kids are kids, They do kid stuff. Okay, look at them. So they took picture of that. Okay. It will be nice to see some joy in that place again. What is it? I mean, if you think about it, this Trump guy is so freaking. What did he expect? He thought this is his. Oh my goodness, you're right. Has anyone laughed in the White House in the last 4 years? My goodness, November 9th, 2016, Peter Sousa took this photograph of Barack Obama's Oval Office meeting with real Donald Trump right after he was named president-elect via the press. My God, there's some people who just take, never giving, and that's him. That's him. My goodness. I wonder if that's the first thing the Bush daughters remember about arriving in the White House 2020 in 2000. Okay, this made me tear up. Okay, I love this. Those girls were so sweet to the Obamas. Yeah, I think they even I remember somewhere I came across where they give them they left a note. That's right, they left a note for them and stuff like that. Fun for kids, but no way that ADA compliance. What is that? That's a ramp. Okay. I guess don't you avoid that ramp? Okay. Probably, but I would love to have Mitch stand in front of that door, then open it fast from the other side. Okay, still better at negotiating a ramp than Trump. Okay, me too. Alright, so people just happy about that. Alright, next one, politics again. Let's see. Okay, all that dick sucking to Trumps from the Brits in vain. They even made the Queen call on the 4th of July. I mean, they were so sure they're gonna get the second re-election because they had planned everything. All right, they put, what is it? First, they let the virus come in the country, and then they know people don't want to get sick, right? So they thought that was gonna stop people from the get-go. Okay, I've heard people cannot wait for November to come so they could vote. They said they put whatever they need to do to go vote. Okay, then they do that. What is it? He was with the mail-in drop box things. Okay, he was trying, because a lot of Democrats tend to vote by mail. So he did some nonsense with the postal service, United States Postal Service. That's the delivering mail, right? And some nonsense was popping up. Then they do that drop off box thing. This is the first time I'm hearing about the drop off box to drop off your mail-in ballot. I never heard of it until this year. Okay, so all these were a way for him to manipulate the system. Okay, take the vote, not sending in the mail and all of that, because what he wanted his people to do is to go in person to vote. So he was already planning to rig the election from get-go. But nobody was playing this nonsense. Eyes were all there. And you see all the lines that were for election. Okay, call a spade a spade. Damn girl. Okay, Henry Cousin. Okay, everybody's laughing. Okay, so next one. Okay, so there it is here. HUD Secretary Ben Carson tested positive for coronavirus Monday morning. His deputy chief of staff, Cutler Baker, confirmed to CNN. Carson attended the election night party at the White House. Oh my goodness, my goodness. The irony of them attending a super spreader event for Trump to falsely claim victory while the parting gift. My goodness. Okay, and this guy was a new, there he is right here. That's him they're talking about. He was a neurosurgical doctor or something like that. He really need to get his brain checked. My goodness, how, that's them. Oh my God, nobody's wearing mask. None of them. My God, my God. And then look at this confining place. Where were they? Is that a bus? Oh my God. They don't care. Okay. It is sad day in America when a world-renowned, there it is, neurosurgeon who knows about infection did not wear a mask to keep the job. Now he has unknown virus in his body for the rest of his life and no job. My goodness. The Trump administration is apparently going to herd stability, not herd immunity. At least they should be happy that Biden will strengthen the ACA and further protect their now pre-existing condition. I'm telling you. Okay, and the kisser is a physician, and like the rest of corrupted dynasty members, his job has nothing to do with his education and background. Yeah, and most likely, okay, like the rest of them, did not wear masks. Like his master, thank God, their master got it expired, and soon the rest of them will be too. Okay, so people just talking about that. That's so freaking sad. Oh my goodness. 15. What do I have on 15? Why is Trump hiding in the White House? Oh, that's where the food and his drug stash is. Oh my God. Insurrection Act. He knows if he leaves at this point, he loses power. He's gonna militarize his occupancy and use the complicit DOD, okay, staff. He's now assembled to keep him in there. Okay, because the minute he step out of it, the debt collectors, Dutchess bankers are looking for their money back, cause scamming. Okay, because it's not like he has a family of loving, warm people he can use to get him through this. All he has to comfort him is a bunker, a plate of pre-crushed Adderall, and Sean Hannity big block of cheese head. Oh my goodness. Damn, this is what he turned the freaking thing into. Oh, he's afraid of American people. He hasn't even gone golfing since he saw people dancing in the street. My goodness, this is what he turned the place into. It's funny to see that also because during Bush presidency, they did not allow people to come and visit because you could make appointment to go visit the White House, right? So it's when Obama came in, he removed all of that, and that's how you will see people go and visit the White House and all of that. So Obama was like, this is the people's house, they have to come in and visit. So people start making appointment and all of that to go visit. And when we went on family vacation, summer vacation, I believe in 2015, is it 2015 or 14? One of those years. We went to DC, Maryland, Virginia, right? Because they're all in the same vicinity. So we spent a couple days in DC and the rest in Virginia. And we didn't know we had to make appointment. So if we had known before we even made our reservation to go on vacation, we would have make the appointment. But we didn't know. All right, and now this guy come and literally putting fence around the thing. Okay, this is gonna be good to see if he continue in that same pattern because once January 20th, 12 p.m. strike, that's when power change. Okay, and that's when Biden have the authority to say send in the squads, to get him out of there. Okay, he's the president. Carl, he lives there. Okay, they have a lot of cover up before Biden gets in. I'm wondering all the stuff that they're doing. I hope someone in there is making copies of everything. Okay, they're telling them to delete something, delete, copy, then delete the ones that they tell them. And then later we're gonna find out all of this. We're gonna find out the mess that was gonna go, because I know things don't stay and hiding forever. Okay, so there's a lot of comment, and I won't be surprised. There's one video, I don't know if I had put it live already. There's one video I did a while back, but I was like after the election. Okay, I think it was this one. Okay, and I did tell myself after the election, once we really know who won, I won't be surprised, okay, if we don't see a Saddam Hussein kind of tactic thing. What happened to Saddam Hussein with this one? Okay, next. What is next? This will be my last one that I bookmark. Okay, Joe Biden now has more than 77 million votes. Really? Okay, Joe Biden is clearly the winner of this election. Trump is doing anything he can to turn time around, but it won't happen. Pretty crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is he thought he got everything. He was doing. There's some people who can't really do things in the right way. Throughout probably his entire life, everything that he got is doing it the wrong way. People just laughing and looking at him. Oh my goodness. Who's gonna tell real Donald Trump? Okay, let's see. I won this election by a ballot. Okay, I won, la 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 la. There's it trying to catch him. Oh my God, laughing my ass off. They just keep getting funnier. He's definitely going to leave office looking like a completely joke come January. Okay, I predict 80 plus after the left coast is done being counted. Okay, we absolutely have to get rid of the electoral college. Not with the what is it, with the how do you call them, Republican in office. Okay, that's the only way they could win the election. If, for instance, the election that's going on and come January in Georgia, okay, let's say the two Democrats win, where the Democrats will have majority of the Senate, maybe that can happen. Okay, maybe that can happen. At least they could put that on the table for people to vote in, and then obviously all the Republicans will be no, and all the other people with good conscience will vote for it. Okay, I think they need what? Yeah, if all Democrats vote for it, that would be it. One up the score, Mr. President-elect Biden. What? Okay, there's music. There's no reason for me to it. Okay, GSA won't sign letter. Top Pentagon policy official fired. Top defense. Maybe this person was willing to sign whatever that needs to be done based on the law, so they fire him. Top Defense Department intel official fired. Okay, COS of Defense Secretary fired. Wall built on White House. Trump won't concede. Pompeo taught second term. Board meeting with Mitch. Mitch meet with CIA director. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I told you in one of my videos, there's going to be a tactic going on somewhere. But, you know, they could say everything. There's one video I came across, I think it was from MSN, where this guy was saying it doesn't matter what they do right now because, let's see if I find it, history, so I don't have to search all over for it. This one I saw. Joe Biden is playing the game exactly the way it's supposed to. All right.
That is exactly what you do in the initial stages. Whoever's advising him is doing it right. You want to let that barricaded subject know that this is going to be okay. I'm going to listen to what you have to say. You can vent and vent and vent. You can call me names and not acknowledge my authority outside the perimeter here. But eventually, we're going to get this done. And eventually, in this case, Nicole, there's going to be a time where Joe Biden calls the SWAT team. It may be a legal challenge to the GSA refusal to acknowledge him as winner. It may be that U.S. Marshals have to come take the president out. And as we say to a barricaded subject, we can do this the hard way or we can do this the easy way. But so far, so good with the way that Joe Biden is handling this.
So he's not individual number one anymore, Frank. He's a barricaded subject. What does that mean? What is like the actual? I mean, it sounds like a hostage situation.
It means there's a way to handle this from a psychological standpoint, from a behavioral standpoint. And all of the last 4 years tell us a great deal about how this president reacts to loss, to being perceived as a loser, and how he needs time to process this. And I know we're all frustrated with it, but the reality is that Joe Biden's got this right. This is going to happen. We're going to acknowledge Joe Biden as the winner. The rest of the world has done it already. And the Republican people around the president need to do this as well, lest they become jokes, as Secretary of State did today. Now, for people worried about the briefings and what's not happening, look, I don't mean to demean this. I was a part of transition briefings when I was assistant director at FBI. They are extensive. They are serious briefings. But there's something else going on here that we need to acknowledge, I think, which is Trump doesn't want Biden to have access to the briefings because, number one, it acknowledges that he won. But also, there's a finer, more subtle layer to this, which is once Biden and his staff get into the agencies and start hearing real-time threat information, they may well discover, let's say hypothetically from the CIA, hey, sir, the following intel on the Russian threat has been suppressed, then we can't get it to Congress or the White House. Or from the FBI, Mr. Biden, we have to tell you that we have the various threats and indications of wrongdoing that we can't get out to anybody right now. That means Biden learns what Trump doesn't want him to learn, and that may be part of this suppression effort as well.
So I was just thinking about Donald Trump's family, who are the smartest people in their family. One of them, obviously, Donald Trump's niece, the one who came out with the book. She did several interviews that I come across. That's pretty disturbing of how she thinks of her uncle. And the other one is Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife. Okay, ex-wife. Why do I mention her? Because as soon as President Trump became president, the first thing she did, I believe she divorced Donald Trump Jr. Okay, and I believe there was something going on the paper where they said that there was some inheritance that her father left for her. She took that with her. Okay, so she knew. Okay, she knew the messed up deals and stuff those Trump's family was doing. So she knew eventually things will come to light, and she didn't want to go down with them. So that's something we need to remember. Okay, if I find clips, or not clips, maybe articles of that, I'll put it on the screen. But pretty much these two women are the smartest Trumps in the family. Yep, I just wanted to bring that up. So that's pretty much it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share.